Hi guys, so today we're going to start building a gate for my sister-in-law that's also bought a house in France. She's just got a puppy, needs to build some new gates to keep the puppy enclosed, so I stupidly said I'll do it for her. So I've bought some wood, and the first thing I'm going to do is cut the wood to size. So here's the wood ready to be cut. I'm going to bring my circular saw in here, measure up and start cutting. So when I cut these pieces of wood, because it's going to be on a fence, what I want to do is have a slight angle so the rain runs off them. So I'm going to have lots of pieces of wood going along like that, but at the top there's going to be a slight angle. And what I've done is I've cut them at 15 degrees on my circular saw. The first one is going to be 160 centimetres, or 1 metre 60 I should say, and then I'm going to actually make them slightly smaller towards the middle, so you'll have a kind of a V shape in the actual gate. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them all exactly the same size, and then I'm going to go back and just take off the bottoms, take off a centimetre on each one, so as they go along it just sort of starts to reduce. So that's the plan. I've now cut all of the wood and I've done sort of 10 either side, so it's going to be about 20 pieces of wood. And what I've done is I've grabbed 2 of them at a time, and I've cut 1.5 centimetres off, and then I've taken the next one and done 3 centimetres, and then got another 2 and did 4.5 and carried on. So in the end you can start to see that from the first one and the last one there's a height difference, and now this will give a sort of a V shape in the fence when I actually build it. So they're all kind of level on one side, but obviously not on the other side. I've also cut the horizontal beams. What I've done is I've cut 2 at the same length just to make them slightly thicker, which will give it extra strength. So I've also pre-cut them ready. So as this is quite raw wood, my plan is to sand them all back now. Well, they're sort of quite easy to sand. It's just to really take off the raw edges, that's all. I will be painting them and giving them some protection later. So the next stage was to paint all the pieces of wood, but my mother-in-law has very kindly painted them all and left me a patch so that I can pretend that I've painted them all. But I'm just going to finish off the last piece now, and then we can start building the fence. So the first step is I'm going to put these beams and I'm going to coach bolt them onto the wall. So I'm going to use 180 by 10 diameter coach bolts, so they go all the way through the wood and into the wall. So I'm going to drill through the wood and then make a marker on the wall and then drill into the wall and put these securely on the wall ready for the gate. So the raw plugs that I've got need a drill bit of 14, a size 14. So I've got it here and I'm ready to drill. So now I'll do the same thing on the other side. I've measured between the 2 posts, and it's slightly less than I thought, so I pre-cut these to 2 meters, but actually I need about 176 either side, so I'm now going to just cut these to size so they fit nicely. So I've doubled up on the wood that we've got, basically because it was cheaper to get a thinner size wood and double it up than it was to get a thicker size wood. Now I'm going to lay them out on the floor so I can sort of measure out where all the planks are going to go and then start putting it together. So what I've done, in order to try and make sure that the 2 horizontals are flat, I know that there's going to be from centre to centre on my gate there's 90 centimetres. So I've marked the centre of the posts and I can measure out 90 centimetres, and I've put 1 pin in on each of the 4 corners, so at least I have some leeway to move it around to make sure I've got it level. And I'm obviously using a set square to make sure they're absolutely level before I put the second one in that will secure the frame, and then I can start working on each of the vertical slats. So I've done all the first screws on the one side, and I'm going to turn the gate upside down and put screws on the other side as well. As you can see, the far one I've already started, but I need to do this one. So that's both sides screwed in. So now I'm going to do the diagonal length. So as you can see, I've just rested it here, and I'm going to just score a mark using my pencil so I can see where to cut on either side. So the next stage is to put the hinges on. So I'm going to put the hinges on the gate first and then line them up on the posts. So the next stage is to get the other side of the hinges in. So I've got the gate here and I've put it up and I've measured where I want it to go. I'm just marking it off, and then I'll pre-drill a hole before I screw this in. There we are, so both gates are hanging up. They're pretty straight. I'm not going to worry about a few mil. I've now got a lock to put on them, so I'll fix that, and then hopefully we're pretty much done. They're looking great. So there's a few bits to touch up with paint, but once we've done that, everything's finished. There we are, 2 gates hanging up, made from scratch. I'm really happy with this, and hopefully it'll keep my sister-in-law's new puppy in, and hopefully these gaps aren't too big, but by the time it gets here to France, it'll be a big dog. Really happy with that. Please subscribe to my channel. You'll see the link on the screen now, and I'll see you next time for my next video. Cheers guys, bye.